every Friday at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We are on live Facebook. Welcome all my Facebook fans and everybody that's across the airwaves. We are here. We are ready. It's going down this morning. And we're going to have a great time this morning. We're going to have a great discussion. And I'm sending you some great music this morning. Good morning, Miss Kay. All my Facebook fans that are joining me. Miss Sadia, good morning. Make sure you share the video with others because it's going to be a fantastic show. I am welcoming callers to come in this morning to the discussion that we're going to have. So I'm going to play some music right now. And I'm going to invite some more Facebook fans while I'm on here. In my life, in my life, good morning, good morning. Real Talk with Trinese, playing some old school music this morning. I hope you stay with us because we're going to have some great topics this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr. Darrell, Clarissa, Ricky, Anna. Good morning. Good morning to my Facebook fans, Facebook friends. Good morning. So make sure you invite the video, invite others to join us this morning. In my life. Y'all know about that Aretha Franklin. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, who's on here? Hey, Miss Fox, Miss Charlie. Good morning, thank y'all for joining me. Make sure y'all invite others to Real Talk with Trinese. We're gonna have an amazing time this morning. And I'm gonna talk about some things that's on my mind. And it's definitely dealing with poverty and greed. And the reason I'm playing this song, OJ's Money, 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 because it paints a picture of what's going on today, still going on today. So y'all have to listen to those words. It's important that you listen to these words from these artists from back in the day because they had messages. Have we gotten away from having messages? Morning. Make sure you invite others. Real Talk with Trinese every Friday. People really need it. Thanks. Good morning, Mrs. Michael Stamps. All my Facebook friends, good morning. Good morning, Real Talk with Trinese. Listen to those words. Good morning, Mr. Stephen. Good morning. Mean green. Almighty dollar. That's right. Yeah, money, money, money. What people will do for it, huh? Mean green. Root of all evil. No good, no good. Good morning, Mr. Stephen. For the love of money, what will the people do out there for the love of money? Steal from their mother, their brother, their sister, their father. They will kill for money. What will people do for the love of money? The love of money. The root of all evil. They gotta have it. Give it up, give it up. Say cash money. People will rob and steal and kill for the love of money. Money has power over you if you allow it to. Don't let money rule you. But so many people, greed has allowed money to rule you. Some people gotta have it. Some people really need it. What I'm feeling in my soul this morning is that families have been broken. Business partners has been broken. Peace has been broken because of the love of money. The love of money has destroyed families, friends, loved ones, has torn sisters and brothers apart because of greed, Greed and money has caused children to kill their own mothers and fathers and their sisters and brothers. Money. We have allowed money to take the place of love and ruin us and change you. I have stories for you this morning about money, greed, poverty, how it all works together. This is not the way God set this thing up. No. Money has power. Good morning, Mr. Greg. Morning. Don't let money change you guys. Marriages are lost. You're right, Mr. Steve, over money. I got stories for you this morning. How money changes people. And even when you're in poverty and you get money, how it changes you. We're going to get right on to the broadcast, guys. That was a music break. I will be playing your music, but we're going to go ahead and get right into it. What I'm feeling today is poverty, greed, lust. What I want to talk today. I don't have any guests today, but maybe you can be my guest by calling in to discuss this topic when I invite callers to call in. So good morning to my Facebook fans, my Facebook friends. Good morning to everybody that's listening this morning with Real Talk with Trinese. I decided to talk about this morning because it has definitely destroyed families. Money and greed has definitely destroyed friends and friendships and marriages. I have stories for you this morning, and I want to tell you one story that was shared with me on a sister that was awarded $500,000, and she had promised her family she was going to get this and that and that, and I'm going to try to help my family. I'm going to try to help you do this, and I'm going to try to help you do that. She had promised before she got the money that she was going to help her family, her mother, her sisters, her nieces and nephews with this $500,000. She was going to buy this one a car and that one a car and all these different things. Now, before she got the money, she was struggling. It was a struggle for her. She wasn't rich or living in a house on a hill. It wasn't nothing like that. She was actually going through some hardships. And this, was it a blessing or was it a curse or was it a test for her? Who knows? So she got her hands on this money. And what did she do after she got the money, guys? What do you think she did? Anybody want to comment in the comment section on Facebook? What do you think she did when she got this $500,000? What do you think she did? Well, I'll tell you what she did. She turned her back on her family. She stopped answering calls. She stopped coming around. And she stopped coming. She did not fulfill those promises that she said she was going to help her family with this $500,000 that she got. She decided that she was not going to fulfill that. She was going to turn her back completely on her family because she didn't want to have anything to do with it, because it was all about her and her life and her household, that she was not going to bless her family. Let me say this. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, because let me say something, because sometimes families are divided before the money. Let me say that. Sometimes families are divided before the money. Even in poverty, families are divided. Mothers, sisters are not talking, brothers are not talking. There's bitterness in the family. Everybody's doing their own thing. So let me get this straight for you. Sometimes families are divided, and sometimes families don't deal with one another because of hurt trauma and hurt situations. And some people don't deal with their family. And as unfortunately is the harsh truth, that sometimes family can hurt you the most It's detrimental to the soul. So some people choose people that have been hurt from their family members. They decided to go away and be away from their family. So if that particular person was awarded monies or whatever it is, that person has the right not to give those monies out, because what has the family done for that person in their life of hardship and things like that. So when that person does get the money, it's up, it's up to them if they want to bless their family still after what have been done to them. So everybody's situation is different, but this particular story that I'm talking about, this person was in her family's life and all those different things like that. But when she got the money, she totally changed. So you listen to the song, Don't Let Money Change You. And that song, Money, Money, Money by the OJs, don't let money change you. So she let the money change her. And she turned her back on her family. Good morning, Mr. Paul. She turned her back on her family after she got the $500,000. So what happened from the moment the money, she had access to the money? What happened? What happened? That she decided not to do all those things that she spoke with her mouth. Why did she not help her family after she got the monies? What happened? What transpired when she touched that money? What happened? I'm taking callers. If you want to share an experience of money in your family, and if you saw friends change with money or family, 504-865-3635 if you want to call in and give your opinion or your testimony, whatever it is that you want to talk about. I'm taking calls. But at the same time, I'll continue talking until, if somebody calls, that's fine. If somebody doesn't, but I'm going to continue on. What you think happened? So, Mr. Stephen Woods, you say, right, people treat you one way when you have the money, another way when you don't have it. That's true. That's true. Because what I'm hearing is, before she got the money, she was a needy family member. Good morning, Mr. Gerald. She was a needy family member, meaning that everybody in the family helped her. Everybody in the family, like, okay, you need this, helping her. She was a taker. Let's just say that. She was a taker. And when she got her hands on some money, before she got her hands on the money, she told her family members she was going to bless them, and she was going to get her niece a car, and she was going to buy you a car, and whatever it is that she said she was going to buy it. And when she got access to the money, it was all over. You didn't hear from her anymore. Maybe because she had to make promises to get help before she got the money. Maybe so, Stephen. But there's more to this story. There's always lessons to be learned in these type of stories, and you have to be careful when you use people and people help you, and then you have means to help others after you have sucked everybody else dry. You have sucked everybody else dry, but now when it's time for you to bless others, you ghost. You're a ghost. Nobody can find you. So, what do you think happened after that? She turned her back on her family. What do you think happened after she got this $500,000 that she promised her family? What do you think happened after she got that money? Good morning, Mr. Troy. Hey, cuz Heather. What do you think happened? So, Mr. Stephen, you're saying takers don't give you anything of value? Yeah. Oh yeah, I've experienced a lot of takers in my life. I've experienced a lot of takers in my life. Oh yes. So what do you think happened to this lady? That after she turned her back, what do you think happened after that? You heard of that term, you reap what you sow in the Bible? It speaks that. You reap what you sow. Who goes around comes around. You heard of that before? You heard of karma, don't play. You heard of karma, always comes back. Have you heard of those terms? Well, I'll tell you what happened. After she turned her back, everything went downhill after that. Now, she did buy her home. She bought a house with her money, and she bought some things, and she did some things with her money for self, of course. And then after a little while, not too long, things started turning for the worse. Because let me say this, if you're not used to money, and if you're not used to money, and if you're not a good financer, if you're not a good organizer, if you're not a good money manager, without money, in poverty, you're not going to be a good money manager with money. So she was not a good money manager without the money. Okay. Yes, Stephen, you pretty much said it. She went broke again because she didn't have the money mindset, and that's correct. So let me just go right on into that. He guessed it. So she did go broke, and she did not manage her money correctly. She did not help anybody in her family, those people that have helped her. She went broke, and her lights was cut off recently. You were awarded $500,000 and your lights are cut off. You're in the same predicament that you were in before you were awarded that $500,000. So basically, she splurged that money. She didn't bless her family with that money. She didn't bless anybody, but she did. She was self-indulgent with her $500,000, and she's broke now. She's back to square one. I don't know if I don't think she paid cash for the house. I think she bought it and was paying a note on it. But the smartest thing she should have done was she should have paid cash for that house, paid that house off. Don't owe no man nothing. Pay it off. Be done with it. But so now you may lose your home as well. But your lights are cut off in your home. You didn't help your family members. You were always a user. So now you are back to how you were before. What does money do? It ruins some people. The love of money ruins a lot of people, a lot of relationships, a lot of friendships. You ever heard the term they said, don't go into business with friends? Why is that? Or don't loan money to friends? Why is that? I can loan you a shirt on my back. I can buy you something to eat. I can even loan you a pair of shoes, a pair of tennis. But I can't loan you money. Why is that, guys? What is this value that we hold on money so high? Money is needed to run businesses. Money is needed to operate homes. Money is needed to really survive. And people who don't have it, who don't have access to a paying job, or their gifts are not making room for them, or they have fell into a slump, some of them are living on the streets. So what does a beggar ask for? What does a homeless person ask for the most? Most people you have encountered that are homeless, what do they ask for the most? When you're driving your car or you're walking by, somebody say something. What do they ask for the most? If you want to call in 504-865-3635 and give your opinions or your testimonies or something that you experienced with money and greed and poverty or whatever it is. What is it the most that a person who is homeless or appeared to be homeless, because of course they have scam artists out there, they have con artists out there. So what is it that they ask for the most? Do they ask for, this is the thing, pay attention to this. Most of them that I've encountered, and some of them simply ask for food. I have had many that have asked for food, but I've had a whole lot, ask for, can you give me money so I can buy me something to eat, or I can get into a shelter? Can you give me money to eat or get into a shelter or buy me something to drink? You're right, Mr. Stephen, money. That's what a homeless person would ask you of the most, is money. Why? Because they need money to buy food or to lay their head at a shelter for the night. That doesn't mean they're going to have enough money to lay their head the whole week. Have any of them ever asked you, well, can you give me some money so I can rent a house for a month? Some of them are not that bold to ask you that, but they're going to ask you for a temporary moment that they need that money for, or something to eat or whatever it's going to be. Because most of them are not going to ask you, I need money to rent this house. Some of you may have experienced that. But most of the time I have experienced homeless people who appear to be in poverty, living on the streets. They ask me for money. We have put a mighty, mighty power on money, currency. We have put a mighty, 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 mighty power to money, because money moves things. It moves things. It moves things. It's a necessity. It's a necessity. Is what they have placed on money is a necessity. Now, I wrote this article, this blog. I have to get back to blogging on my WordPress website, and I blog about a lot of things, but I talk about it mostly on Facebook and whatever. And I say poverty keeps us mute. What do I mean by that? That poverty keeps us mute. When you don't have the means, the money, you don't have a voice in this country. When you don't have the monies to take proper care of yourself. And I was looking at Oprah Winfrey's segment this morning for a little while, and there was a man on there who was on death row for 30 years. He was on death row for 30 years he was wrongly convicted of killing two white people, and he was judged by a white judge, white prosecutor, and an all-white jury. This man was on death row for 30 years and was wrongly accused. Wrongly accused. And a lawyer, a black man, a lawyer decided to look at his case and open up the case and fight for the man for 16 years. And the man was freed. And the name of his book is The Sun Does Shine. Look it up. I don't know, because I just looked at it a glimpse this morning. I want to share it on my page and I didn't get a chance to, but after this broadcast I will. But the main thing that's sticking out why I'm talking about this story right now is the lawyer said the reason why he was convicted so easily because he was poor. And he did not have the money to have a right lawyer to represent them. How many people are in jail or sitting behind cells, innocent? Innocent. How many people are in jail innocent because they don't have the money to hire a lawyer to represent them, not guarantee them freedom, to represent them. They don't have money to represent them, not guarantee them freedom. How many brown people are in jail? Brown boys and girls are in jail because they don't have the money. Money is a powerful thing in this country. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. So, Mr. Stephen, you're saying sometimes they have more money than you in their pocket. It's a hustle. Oh, yes, I do know that. I asked if they want this money or a bag of weed. Guy said, give him the weed, pulled out. Wow. Hey, I know. Sometimes they do have, but I didn't see people pull off in Lincolns and Cadillacs and stuff. Some of them is a hustle. And the number one thing they request is money. But you got to have your spirit of discernment. You have to discern what is true and what is not true. Sure, I've gotten scammed before, but I can tell you this quick story where I was, I told it before, where I was driving. It was about 8 o'clock at night. My son was in a passenger seat and the man was under the Claiborne Bridge. And he said, ma'am, do you have any money or whatever? He had a sign. I said, no, I don't have anything. You know, I didn't. I really didn't. And this is what he asked me. He said, do you have a bottle of water and some pennies? A bottle of water and some pennies. And I looked down and I had a bag of pennies. And I had a bottle of water. I said, wow. So I gave it to him. It was like, what was that about? So I believe that was God timing right there, because he asked for a strange request. You know, he asked for pennies and water, and I had it in my car. My husband loves to collect the coins and loose change out of my purse and loose change in the house. He always put it in a bag, and they had a bag of pennies, and this is what this man asked for, and I gave it to him. And the look on his face like, wow, thank you. So I don't know what he used that bag of pennies for. I'm pretty sure he drank the water. But again, going back to the lady I was talking about earlier with the $500,000 that she was awarded, and she's broke and she's back in poverty again, and her lights are cut off. Why? Let's move on to another story. You know, I want to encourage everybody that's on here that lives in New Orleans, especially, or wherever you live. I know you know the term gentrification, where they're flooding the neighborhoods. Caucasian people with money and connections are flooding the neighborhoods of our grandparents and parents and our childhood homes and things like that. They're coming in trying to take those golden properties from us by sending letters to the homes and saying, can you sell this? Can you sell that? Can you sell your homes? And unfortunately, when you throw some dollar signs at somebody, you jump at it because you never had the money before. So if you throw monies at people that are in poverty or suffering, they can't, they don't know the value of their childhood homes. They don't know the value of those memories and keeping your prized property. They don't know that. They will sell it for nothing. They will sell it for pennies on the dollar. That's what they will do. And these people are smart enough to know that, to come at you offering you $20,000 for a house that's worth $250,000 or more. So this is what happens in families that has properties that are siblings. Most of the siblings may not want to sell those houses, but somebody in the family want to sell it. Or maybe one sibling, yeah, let's sell it for $100,000, and the kids are like, no, the siblings are like, no, we're not going to do that. So it's like a bickering thing with families when a parent dies or parents dies and the siblings are left to manage that property, and one sibling wants to sell out and sell the house for $100,000 because he wants that money, and not realizing a house is $400,000, $500,000, and that they should keep it in the family because somebody may lose their home one day or somebody may need that house. We can still have family gatherings at the house, but they want to sell it for $100,000 because a Caucasian person knows that somebody's going to bite in that family because they never had that kind of money in that family. So $100,000, you want to sell the house for $100,000. And so you want to get $25,000 out the deal because you got to split it with your siblings. That is not a lot of money. They don't know that, but when money is needed and you never had it, you're going to make terrible decisions. Because once you get that $25,000, it's going to be gone at the blink of an eye. This money thing we have given money so much power. We have given money so much power that it has divided families. It has caused families to be selfish. You've been awarded money, but you don't give, you don't help anybody in the family because you want to keep it to yourself. So you've lost all that money. You've got $500,000. You didn't help anybody in your family, but people are always helping you, but you did not bless anybody in that family. And now you are broke. Anybody that's listening, do not sell your family home. And if you sell it this day and time, the way they're selling houses, flipping houses for $400,000, $500,000. Don't you just take no $100,000. Especially if you got to split it with siblings. If you can hold on to your properties, people, and don't jump at every offer that comes your way. That you don't jump at money, because the money is going to help you for a lifetime. Especially if you don't know how to manage your money. If you're not a good manager of your money and you're poor, you're not going to be a good manager of your money when you are not even rich. When you have more money. I'm not even going to say rich. Why have we given money so much power? How in the world have we given money so much power? How? Why? And it destroys families. I have the phone lines open, 504-865-3635 if you want to call in to discuss maybe a story that you had and you saw the division what money can do to families and how money can change a character of a person. How money can change a character of a person. Because we value money more than somebody's life. We value money more than somebody's life. And that is terrible. People, there's a story where a lady in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, poisoned her husband for a $10,000 life insurance policy. $10,000. You poisoned your husband for a $10,000 life insurance policy. You ended your husband that you took vows with. You ended his life for 10 grand. It's mind-boggling. It's so many stories, guys, that we haven't even heard about. So many insurance fraud stories, what people would do to get those monies. It's so many demonic things that make people demonic and make people greedy, make people evil and vicious behind money. And what they would do to another human being to get their hands on some money that is a temporary fix, because $10,000 is not going to last a lifetime, especially with inflation going on and different costs of things. It's not going to last you unless you don't touch it. Unless you don't touch it. Unless you don't touch it, you can turn $10,000 into something. But most of these type of people that kill, they're not going to just put it up because there's this instant gratification. So what do you think she did? Or people like that? They got people that kill spouses for bigger insurances, $1 million policies, 100,000 policies. It goes up and up and up. But for $10,000, $10,000, not even $1 million is worth killing somebody for. Money is not worth killing and destroying a life for. It's not, but we've given it so much power. Because what we do with the money, what is it? The flesh is pleased when we get our hands on money. We are pleasing the flesh. Understand that, guys. We are pleasing flesh when we have access to money. But money is a necessity to pay your water bill, your light bill, your rent, your mortgage, whatever it is you need, your car note. Yeah, you do need that. You do need that. But when people overstep their boundaries, they have a life where they can continue to have income coming in and they can pay for these things, but they want more. They want more. We are supposed to live a life debt-free. We're supposed to live our life debt-free. God did not want us to be living in poverty. He did not set this thing up. Man, with its greed, man, the oppressors, as I always say, the oppressors got together and dominate and keep people oppressed by paying them low wages, not paying them what they're worth. Like working them like slaves for pennies so they can keep their bank accounts full. They will deny people that work for them proper income. Because I believe if you treat the people that work under you well, most of the time, some people will get greedy and do things they're not supposed to do. But if you treat people well that work for you, pay them, they won't have to rob, kill, or steal. Because I believe happy employees will make your business flourish, will make your business flow, will make your business blessed if you pay people what they deserve. They're bringing their gifts to you. They're bringing their skills to you. And you don't want to pay them because of greed, because you want to keep the money in your own pocket. We have given so much power to money. We have given so much power to money that you don't want to treat others, your fellow human beings, your fellow sisters and brothers. You don't want to treat them with respect by paying them, by helping them. If you are an employer out here, an employer, and you have the means, meaning that you have it, you can do it. You can have the means to bless your employees with proper wages and still be wealthy, then what's the problem? What is the problem? And Mr. Stephen, I believe you. Money for drugs has a lot to do with crime. It does. But why are people taking drugs? Let's dig a little deeper. Why are people on drugs? To escape something, to numb something, to numb that pain that they're in. Why are people on drugs? To feel a temporary high, to escape from the daily problems, the daily oppression, the daily poverty. They need something to escape, to numb. And we have to dig deeper to understand, and we can't judge people that's on drugs because we don't know why they're there and how they got there. But they need money to purchase the drug. So the drug dealer that's a supplier is going to give you a product that you need. So the drug person that's on the drug is going to do what? To get that drug so they can feel different. They're going to rob, steal, and unfortunately some will kill because their drug has taken over their body and their drug has controlling their spirit, and they need the money to buy the drugs unless they rob the drug dealer. And when that gets out, you have a hit on you. So people that are on drugs, they need money to buy drugs. So if they don't have working wages, if they're not working, if they don't have a proper income coming in, they are going to steal it from someone else. And that's how it goes, guys. There's a science to this. It all goes back down to having access to having that life that God wants us to have, and not to be living in poverty, because poverty is nothing but a curse, is nothing but the pits from hell. It keeps us mute, it keeps us voiceless, it keeps us without representation for a proper lawyer. If we find ourselves in some type of problems, we can't hire a lawyer to represent us. That didn't even guarantee us to get off. So this man that I talked about earlier was spent 30 years on death row because of an all-white jury, all judge put him there. He was falsely accused, but he didn't have the money to get a lawyer. He didn't have a voice, but somebody, some angel looked at his case, some decent lawyer with a heart, How many lawyers we have with a heart? How many lawyers know that they got people in jail that are in there for the wrong reasons? They're innocent. How many lawyers know that? How many prosecutors have locked up people in jail for the numbers, for the money, for the esteem, for the prestige? How many of those lawyers have put brown people in jail to get a plaque on their wall, to go home in their Mercedes, to go home to their house on the hill? How many of them have thrown brown people in jail just to say, I have it, I done it, I did it, I'm the best? The ego, the greed, the lies. How many of them have thrown our children, grandchildren, our cousins, our mamas, our daddies in jail to say that they have the best of the best? And they have plaques on the wall, diplomas on the wall, but you go to bed at night, you eat your blooded steaks, you eat your caviar, you eat your shrimps, you have round table discussions on what yacht you're going to buy, but somebody in jail is going to death row to die because you lied and you needed the numbers. How many of those are you responsible for? How many? How long can we live a life like this? How can you go to bed at night knowing that somebody that you put in jail for the wrong reason, lied on, and you're sitting in your bed with your wife and your children, tucking your children in, and you know that somebody's child is in jail? How can you do it? I'm talking to these corrupt lawyers right now. You're corrupt and you're vile, and God is going to deal with you. I'm sick of it. Poverty keeps us mute, and you know it. If you don't have any money, you cannot fight without it. So that's why I preach every day about everybody using your gifts to make room for you. Build a legacy for yourself. Don't just work on a regular 9-to-5 job. Have more than that. Because any one of us can get caught up in this system, and we can be sitting in jail for the wrongdoing. For wrongdoing that we didn't do. That greed, that money it's vile when people have the love of money. What they would do, they would destroy lives for the love of money. They would destroy lives for the love of money. That's what I'm talking about this morning. That's what I'm talking about this morning. That money changes people. You get your hands on money, it does something to you. Do not let money rule you. Do not let money fool you. If you have the means to bless somebody with your money, you know somebody is struggling. You know somebody is struggling right now. Everybody on this live feed know somebody don't have lunch every day. You know somebody, they don't have shoes to wear. You know somebody that kids are starving, but you do nothing. You do nothing. You do nothing. There is a day of judgment for us of all. There's a day of judgment. We're going to be judged for our actions, for everything we say and we do. And the love of money have caused people to die. Wrongful deaths. People on drugs. They're trying to escape something. Drugs are demonic, and it changes people's DNA and their character. How did drugs get here? We know how it got here. It all was manufactured. It all was planned. It all was discussed. How we can reign, keep on reigning, if we pump people up and we give these people access, and we We flood the neighborhoods that are in poverty already with drugs, because if you introduce drugs to a poverty neighborhood, a poverty area of the city, that is a way to keep them there. Poverty is a way to keep them in poverty. Drugs is a way to keep you in poverty. So I'm going to put drugs in this neighborhood so you guys won't win. So you guys won't wake up. So you guys won't see what we're really doing. So I need to keep you drugs. I need to pump you up with drugs. So I'm going to let the local drug dealer, I'm going to find the best salesman on the street that can win the people over, and I'm not going to touch them. I'm not going to touch this drug dealer because I need this drug dealer. I know this drug dealer is selling drugs every day, and I'm going to let him sell drugs every day because he's doing our job. I need him to do our job, what we planned out. I know the drug dealer in the area, but when I'm ready to get him, I'm ready to get him. When I'm ready to bring him in, I'll bring him in, but I'm going to let him do years and years and years of drug selling. And years and years and years of plaguing the neighborhoods with drugs. I'm going to let him do it for years and years and years. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let him do it because that's what the plan was. Poverty, drugs, greed, cesspool of evil. To keep the people mute, to keep the people quiet, and to keep us blind and shackled in bondage. And then when I catch you, and when you are on drugs and you are stealing and you are robbing and killing, that's when I'm going to grab you and I'm going to put you in the jailhouse and you're going to be a free slave of labor. That's what you're going to be. You're going to be a slave for me. After I've drugged you up, after I've allowed you to get on these drugs, I'm going to catch you at your weakest moment and I'm going to get you because I need a slave to build more prisons, to build these skyscrapers. I need free labor. And that has been the plan. Slavery is still here. And Ms. Fox-Rich, if you're still listening, I thank you for coming on the show last week, sharing your story about your husband being locked up for 60 years for robbing a bank because he didn't want his family to fail, or he didn't want his family to be on the streets. So he went to rob $5,000 and they gave him 60 years. Never done a crime before, anything like that. So Fox-Rich, I thank you for sharing your story. But there's so many stories. There's so many plans that has to do with money and destroying our children in our neighborhoods. And we just doing it and we just walking by like nothing's going on. Y'all got to wake up, man. Y'all have to wake up. So the next song I'm going to play is Curtis Mayfield, I'm Your Pusher Man. I'm going to play that song, and I want you to listen to those words. We're going to take a music break. And again, this is Real Talk with Trinese. We're here every Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I've always had amazing guests that come on the show to talk about their stories, but today is just me, you, and the music today, and discussions. The show is still going on. And I'm glad that you're sticking with me. Share the video, invite others to the video, and those who are listening on the airwaves, tell people about the show, because the show is we're very, very proud of the show and the way it's going and what it's doing for people, and the discussions and the topics that we're talking about are very important. So let me go ahead and put this music on for you, and we'll be right back.
This is a mixtape. A mixtape about defiance. Defiance is like.
Hey guys, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm just gonna like a few of your comments on here. Good morning, everybody. So we're on a music break right now. Good morning. We are on a music break right now. We'll get right back into the discussion. Hi, my Instagram family. Good morning. Good morning. So, hey, Miss Juanita. Good morning. I am on Facebook Live, and I'm also on Instagram. You guys, if you are my Facebook fans, you can go to my page, Trinese Jordan Playwright Duplessis. You can watch me there. Or I'm attempting to do Instagram as well, so we can work both angles. So I have the computer here, and I have Instagram Live. So you guys stay with us. We're on a music break right now, okay? And we've basically been talking about poverty, greed, the love of money, and all those different things that we've been talking about, and how it affects families and friends, and how people, when they get money and they change, and that's basically what we're talking about right now. Yeah, Mr. Stephen, yeah, the hospital and the jailhouse is the main source of revenue. I know, unfortunately. So also, guys, we're going to talk about this too. We'll talk about that a little while later. But I will be discussing God's tears on my window pane. Very proud of that. We are on a music break right now.
Always see it, you take it. Oh, make me wanna holler the way they do my life. Make me wanna holler the way they do my life. This ain't it, this ain't it. No, no, baby.
This ain't living.
No, no, no. Inflation, no chance to increase finance. Bills pile up, sky high. Send that boy off to them. Oh, make me wanna holler the way they do my life.
The way they do my life.
Yeah, make me wanna holler the way
They didn't do my life. This ain't living. This ain't living, guys. It's not living. As I said before, poverty keeps us mute. This is not the way God set this thing up. Mr. Stephen, you're so right.
Bad breaks, setbacks, natural findings. I can't pay mine.
Taxes
Oh,
make you wanna holler.
throw up both my hands. Yeah, they make me wanna holler. Throw up both my hands.
This ain't living.
Crime is increasing.
Crime is increasing.
Trigger happy. Police
Trigger habit policing.
panic. It's spread.
Panic is spreading.
God knows where we're headed.
God knows where we're headed. Make you wanna holler. Make you wanna holler. They don't understand. This song, it's in the 70s, guys. It's still going on. It's all been a plan and a plot to keep us in poverty, to keep us mute, to keep us with no voice. They don't want us for the piece of the pie. Hey, Kiana. I tagged you on Facebook for the Facebook Live. So I'm doing Instagram too. We just basically talking about poverty, keeping us mute, all these different things.
Everybody thinks we're wrong. Who are they to judge us? Simply call us free where I am on.
Hey, sis. Hey, Mr. Patrick. All right. I hope you enjoyed that music selection. And the reason I'm playing that is messages in those songs for those artists, Marvin Gaye and Curtis Mayfield, Pusha Man, who I played earlier. We're going to go right back, jump right back into this poverty mindset and this greed and how money changes people. You're going to go right back to it. So, Mr. Dash, I want to comment on what you said. Very, very important question. Very, very, very important point. And we need to analyze it and find out why. Why are Black folks poor? Why are we so many consumers and so few producers? I've been trying to find out for years why. Why? We are the biggest consumers. The biggest consumers. We make businesses thrive. We make businesses live well, but in our own backyard, we are struggling. We are in poverty. We are paycheck to paycheck. We are struggling to pay our bills, but we are the biggest consumers. Stephen, right on saying that, because that is the God honest truth. We need to figure this out. But we're not the biggest consumers of those of us who step out on faith and have our own businesses. Why do brown folks don't support brown folks? Again, it's all a systematic plan. It's something in his psyche here that causes us not, if we support mom and pop on the corner, that they may live better than us. And we know we're struggling. So we feel more comfortable. We feel more comfortable going to the Asian mom and pop store on the corner in the neighborhood that treats us like dog meat, that treats us like shit. We feel more comfortable going to the mom and pop of the Arabs. We're Arabs. We are going to go get their fried chicken and not the brown people. So we the biggest consumers of these Arab stores, these Chinese stores in our neighborhoods. We are the biggest consumers, but yet we are poor. We can't see another brown person make it. Is that the problem, that we don't want to see them? Because I'm in poverty, I'm sure not going to contribute to them getting out of poverty. Is that it? You feel more comfortable supporting the other nationalities than your own brown people? Why? What has happened to us? We have let these people trick us into not supporting each other, and more of us are just drowning in poverty. Do you celebrate when a brown mom and pop store don't make it? Do you celebrate that? My sister, hey Kiana, she said, yeah, we need more Black business owners in our communities when there are nail salons, beauty stores owned by foreigners. Yes. And when my sister or my brother decides to open up a nail salon, we say, oh, she too high, or a hair store, she too high, or a corner store, oh, they too high, I'm going to go over here, they're cheaper. Let me tell you why. They are higher than your average. Let me tell you so you can understand this. When a Black person go get a loan from the bank, okay, let's keep it real here. When a Black person, a brown person go get a loan from the bank, our interest rate is going to be higher than the Arab or the Chinese person or the white man. It's going to be higher. So what they have to do is they have to charge a little bit more to survive, to stay afloat, to keep the business. So when you think about complaining about what they're charging. Think about when they went to the bank and how the interest rate and how they rent, if they're renting the building or if they bought the building, that they note is going to be higher than the Chinese man across the street or the Arab man across the street or whoever, or the Jamaican man across the street. So when you start complaining, think about that. Yes, sis, who knows? Our products are better. Blacks hate blacks. Oh, that's so terrible. That's so terrible. And who put that seed in our brains to hate on our brown people? Okay, I got a caller calling in. So let's see who's calling. Good morning. This is Real Talk with Trinese. Who am I speaking with? Hello? This is Real Talk with Trinese. Who am I speaking with? I don't hear you. Can you hear me? Wow. Is that Mr. Steven you're trying to call? Okay, something's wrong with the phone. Wow. Unbelievable. Mr. Steve, you probably can hear me, but oh, there you are, Mr. Steven.
Okay.
There we go. I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Steven, and thank you for all the comments that you've been putting on Facebook and supporting the show. But I'm glad that you called in. So what is your take on this, Mr. Steven?
I think you're spot on when we're talking about black folks supporting black business.
Yes.
And I had the unfortunate experience to notice that in a situation up here.
Okay. Where are you located? Where are you?
I'm in central Louisiana, right smack in the middle.
You're in central Louisiana?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Alexandria, Pineville area.
Okay.
So about 3 hours from New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I know of a situation here where foreigners owned a corner store in the neighborhood.
They own a corner store in the neighborhood. Okay. Okay.
They treated everybody in that neighborhood like dirt, which were all black people.
Yes, sir. I see it all the time.
The young, barely 21-year-olds would be cursing out our senior citizens, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
And one time I happened to be in the neighborhood visiting some ex-in-laws, and I went to the store. And I got into it with them. And I said, hold on. Everybody's not on drugs. Everybody's not alcoholic.
Yeah.
You can take this and shove it wherever you want to. I go to another store.
Uh-huh.
Make a long story short, that store shut down. A black guy bought that store. Opened it up.
Okay.
3 blocks away is another corner store.
Okay.
All the people in that neighborhood that put up with that bull from those foreigners for years.
Okay.
Walk right by this black man's store and went to another foreigner store.
I
saw it with my own eyes.
You saw it with your own eyes. So let me reiterate to my audience. So you live in central Louisiana. These were Vietnamese people that owned the store at first, right?
Middle East, Arabs.
Arabs, and they treated every black person in there like dog meat, right?
I mean, that's putting it mildly.
Put it mildly, okay. So they shut down, right? And
because the black people started beating up the little guys that were running it. It just got violent in there. They were just talking to you bad, and people get tired of all that. So
they started retaliating, in other words.
Right.
Okay. So the Arabs shut down. And then a black man came in and bought the building.
A young black guy in his late 20s, early 30s, ex-drug dealer, decided he had stopped selling drugs. He was going to do something for the neighborhood.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So he decided to open up the store, and the black people supported the other store that was foreigners, passed his store up to support the other store.
Right, and see, when it was owned by foreigners, it was the second generation of foreigners. I mean, the second generation was the sons, not the original owner.
Okay.
That ran it into the ground and ended up closing.
Okay.
So the dad shut the store down to keep his sons from getting killed.
Okay, because they wasn't running it right, and they was treating black people like mess, and the young black boys was retaliating. So to keep his sons from getting killed, he shut the store down.
Right.
And these were Arabs.
They were Arabs.
And a young black man decided to open his store up, and the people.
Did. It had a little kitchen in it. You can get food and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. It was the #1 spot in that part of that neighborhood.
The #1 central spot where you are guaranteed you're supposed to make money. You're supposed to make money.
It was where everybody within a 3-block radius went to the store. You know how it is in the hood.
Yes, I do. Yes.
You go to the closest one. You go to the closest one.
Right.
And you put up with it because of the convenience.
Right. Okay. So they passed his store. They passed his store to go to the other store and support that store.
I mean, they went in the other directions 3 blocks down to another Arab store that had been open for about a year, but there was no need to go there because they had one right on the same street with them. And I would go over and I would watch because my ex had an elderly aunt there, and sometimes we'd go over there and take care of her and stuff.
Okay.
But make a long story short, the young black guy ended up getting robbed and killed.
Oh, no.
After about 3 months.
They killed him.
So his mother and his sister took over the store. They opened the kitchen. Food was better than ever from what I understand. Blacks went to that store for about 3 weeks. And then they went right back passing it up. And I would drive past both stores on my job, and I would notice that the Arab store was just, people coming out the door, and then you go to the neighborhood where the black store was at, where it was a booming business until a black person owned it. And that is the black mentality we have.
It's so sad. It's heartbreaking.
Black businesses don't make it.
It's so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. We rather support a business that treats us like the bottom of their shoe and don't support our blacks. I just don't understand something in that mentality. Where did that behavior come from? How did we learn not to support one another? Where did that come from? Where did that seed come from? This young brother opened up a store. He wound up getting killed and robbed. And the business is not, and the mom and the sister took over the business, but they're still not supporting it. What is that about?
They lasted 2 months.
They lasted 2 months. So you mean to tell me that black business had to shut down completely?
Absolutely. But for 20 years, Arab made a fortune right there at that very spot.
We are the biggest consumers, but we are the most poor. That has to stop. It goes back.
You know what? You just said it. We're the biggest consumers and the smallest producers. And the law of money is you get what you give. You have to provide a service. You have to provide a product.
Yes.
In exchange for money.
Yes. It saddens my soul. It saddens my soul to see that black people gotta beg for support. That black people gotta beg for support. But
yeah, and that doesn't necessarily work. I mean, it was something we all heard growing up, crabs in a basket, but that particular incident really brought it home for me because I watched it develop.
You saw it with your own eyes.
Yeah, the little black guy that bought the store, he was a family friend, grew up with my ex's children, So
yes.
I knew what was going on, but I was just truly amazed that people would walk 3 blocks instead of walking 3 doors down
3 blocks. They would walk 3 blocks.
Right.
Pass the store up. Did they literally have to pass the store to get to the other store?
I tell you what, whatever they were doing, it was not going in that store.
Unbelievable. So how many other stores across America that this happens to? I'm going to tell you a story, Mr. Stephen. You know where the 6th ward is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. When my husband and I first got together, when we were dating, we lived in the 6th ward. Okay. And this was a Chinese store at first. It's similar to your story. It was a Chinese store. I can't remember what street it was on. Lord, what street was that? Was it Dumaine? Whatever street it was in the 6th ward. They had Chinese people there first, and that store stayed busy, meaning, you know, people were supporting it. That store shut down. A black man, I think, and his wife opened up the store. Good food. I mean, great food. They didn't last 6 months.
No.
They didn't last 6 months.
I saw the death of black-owned stores in New Orleans. I was the youngest liquor salesman in the city back in '83.
Really?
And being the youngest and being black, of course, I got all the stores around the projects, and, you know, they gave me like a dozen 7-Elevens, 2 or 3 Winn-Dixons, but all that kind of big stores went to the white guys and the older guys. But by me, you know, just being 21 and black,
yeah,
I got the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. But the funny part about it was when I first started, I did that for 2 years, then I went to Apple.
Okay.
When I first started, I saw a decline in
black business
store ownership.
Uh-huh.
Now, fast forward that to like 2 years before Katrina, I'm designing for 32 stores in New Orleans, putting T-shirts on them and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Every single one of them are foreigners.
Woo!
Every single one of them was foreigners. I did not have a black store out of the 32 that I supplied that was black.
Do you remember Black Wall Street? When it was a Black Wall Street?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay. Do you have you ever heard about the North Claiborne black businesses that were thriving back in the day before they put the bridge in the interstate in place of the trees that they had? Do you remember that story?
I was very young then, but I remember when the construction went on with the I-10 and the Superdome and all that.
Right.
You know, I was grade school age, of course. I'm 56 now, but
yeah,
you're talking about late 70s, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty young myself, but I'm just going by on the elders what they told me. That black businesses on North Claiborne were immaculate. It was like a black Wall Street. I mean, everybody had a business that was thriving, and then all of a sudden, that interstate was put there, and every business failed. Now that you see that Claiborne is trying to come back, but guess what it's trying to come back with? It's not trying to come back with black owners, because the gentrification has come in, and the white folks are coming in to buy those properties so they can make it the way they want it.
Well, you saw that with Katrina.
Yeah.
I mean, after Katrina, it was basically let's between FEMA and whoever else, it was basically let's get the blacks out of here and rebuild this for upper middle class.
Yes.
I mean, I came back 6 weeks after Katrina. I stayed a year. You
stayed a year and you left.
Yeah, well, I got tired of my wife sitting in a FEMA trailer crying every day because it looked like we were sitting in the middle of a bomb field.
Yeah.
You know, and it was no progress being made.
Right. And guess what? The unfortunate part is when these other broadcasts show New Orleans, they want to say New Orleans is back, and they're only going to show the downtown and French Quarter because they don't realize that French Quarter was never hit. The French Quarters was never affected by Hurricane Katrina. So, of course, they're going to show the areas. You go down into the Deep Ninth Ward, in Ninth Ward, ain't nothing done down there. But a few houses Brad Pitt tried to put together, and I believe what I'm hearing is they ran him off. So it's like they didn't shut all the projects down, okay? Now they're condos and they're assisted living. Now, I don't know how I feel about that, because they have people that really need those housing projects. There are people that really don't have a means to pay a house note. They got people that really need it, but you snatched every last one of them away. Every last one of them away. There was always a plan after Katrina to change this thing. So now what they're doing, they are raising your taxes on your homes, and they're and the people, when they built that hospital, unfortunately, and I don't care who gets upset about me what I'm about to say on here. That's why it's called Real Talk with Trinese. We talk about real things on here. When when University Hospital was being planned, they already had a plan of who they was going to bring in here. All those doctors, all those nurses, all those people from California, from all those northern states, came down here and bought those houses for little or nothing, and they continue to flood down here. It's a whole different generation of people in these neighborhoods. I live in the 7th Ward, and they have a double house that's not even a 2-story double house. They made it to a single house. That house was sold for $350,000. So the mom and pop house, they can't even afford to keep the taxes on their houses, because these gentrification people are coming in and buying these houses for $400,000, $300,000 to price you out, to buy you out. That's the whole plan.
And it started from day one, because the first 6 months that I came back to New Orleans, we lived in a Marriott. And so we would go out and look for, places to rent, just get out of that hotel environment. Even though we were in a very nice suite, you still lived in a hotel.
Right.
And I'm talking something that you wouldn't have paid more than $450 for. The people was asking $1,600, $1,800 a month for. And the same thing up here. When we got up here, the rent went up because a lot of people from New Orleans migrated up this way, and FEMA was paying the rent. So houses they were renting for $300 a month before Katrina became $600 homes.
Oh yes.
$700 rent.
Yes. Yes.
And after all of that went away, the rent never went back down. So it produced slums.
Yes.
In certain parts.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It's a systematic approach to keep poor people poor.
It is.
And to keep the 3% to 3%.
Always have been. And we don't get it.
The only way that you can break out of that is to become a producer.
Is to become
only a consumer.
Exactly. And Mr. Stephen, you said it right. That's why I talk about this so much. Create your own businesses. And the thing about it, we get so comfortable going on a regular 9-to-5 job, and we think that's all that we have to offer. There's so much more to you than a 9-to-5, because let me tell you what a 9-to-5 will do to you, my brothers and sisters that's listening. What a 9-to-5 will do to you, you will be on that job 28 years and 29 years, and it's time for you to retire. They're gonna let you go, so they won't pay you no retirement. So don't dedicate your whole life to just one employer. Make yourself an employer, okay? Create some other income for your families, because these jobs ain't loyal. They're not loyal. Back in the day when our mom and dad worked for the post office and Intergy and all these companies that were around, they're sitting on retirement right now. But people my age coming up, by the time retirement I get in my 60s, ain't nothing gonna be there. So that's why I got to keep on doing what I'm doing, creating my businesses and doing what I need to do, because I know at any day these jobs gonna cut me loose. They're gonna cut me loose because they don't want to pay you no retirement. And it's all about what I started with the show about greed and poverty. It works hand in hand. The more greed, the more poverty. It works hand in hand. And when people don't understand, these lawyers, these people that are representing, when you don't have a right representation, if you get into some trouble, you're gonna sit in that jail. You're gonna sit in there because you are poor and you can't hire a lawyer to try to get you off. to try to get you off.
Are only concerned about their statistics. How many convictions did they
That's
get?
all, and that's what I said. Yes.
You can be on a lawyer against a lawyer that know you're innocent, but they're not going to take that loss, and they're going to do everything they can to get you put away.
Exactly.
And I tell my stepson that stay out of the system. That's how you beat that.
Stay out of it. Stay out of it.
Getting them out of jail because they were 3 of New Orleans' most wanted back in the day, and you know, I would tell my ex-wife, I said, I'm not gonna let the police come here and take kids and do what they do. I said, we'll fight that. I said, as long as they're in these streets doing dirt, they're gonna have to do the crime.
Right.
They're making some crime, they're gonna have to do the time.
Right.
And I've seen cases. I mean, I've been through some legal stuff myself. Never criminal, always business or something. And it's just really about. A lot of lawyers don't have a passion for the job. It's not about that.
Yes.
It's not about helping people.
You say that again, Mr. Steve, what you said?
I said a lot of lawyers do not have any passion for their job or any concern with helping folks. They're only thinking about
the money. And having those plaques, like I said earlier. Having those plaques and those awards on their walls, they can sit there and look at you and look at your situation and know that you're innocent. But I don't have the energy and the time. I get my money when I convict more, because it all works together. If I convict more people, that's more slave labor for them. Everybody gets paid. The prison for profit is going to keep growing. That's how it is. It's all the systematic. We got to educate our brown people on this so they can know to stay out them systems.
If they pay attention, you can see that the small contractor doesn't really get. I don't know if it's like that everywhere else, but I've noticed the change here. The small contractor doesn't get the bid on resurfacing the parking lot.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. They do not. They do not. Yeah. They have certain people they use in this city, in other cities. They have their certain few that they get the big jobs, and you know, friends taking care of friends in these offices. Why do you think New Orleans is at the bottom? Because it's always been who you know, what you know, who you connected with. It's only a few families that have been running these cities. They're not going to let you in like that. They're not going to let you in like that.
It's a clique.
It's definitely a clique. I hate cliques. I despise cliques. I never was in a clique. They have clique in every genre. How you gonna be in a clique and y'all all broke?
Right. And so it's a clique up here so bad with the old money that they don't want any new money making any improvements. So downtown, you have like 60% of the office space empty.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But all the businesses, like you'll go to like the 4 or 5 major restaurants, and it's mom, dad, daughter, son-in-law owner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 It's all. We gotta wake up.
And the only way blacks, I think, as a whole, is gonna ever come above that is that they've already shown you how to do it. They keep the money in their own culture.
That's right.
They keep the money in their own neighborhood.
That's right. That's right.
And until we start supporting each other's businesses,
yes,
we will never get anywhere.
Never get anywhere. We'll never get anywhere. It doesn't make sense. Why do we celebrate when a black person fails? What does that do to you? What did that do to your spirit? You happy when somebody's businesses fail, or you know, because you didn't support it or whatever? Why would you celebrate that?
I don't think that way, but it seems to be that black folks, especially this generation now, is in a race to be first that's going nowhere.
Oh my God! Competitive.
It's a very competitive. But we're not competing with nothing. Though.
Exactly. We ain't competing with nothing. Yeah.
So I mean, we're competing against keeping each other from being able to compete. I mean, like sometimes we're canceled or something. Ourselves, you know.
That crabs in a barrel is real. I got a story. I wrote a short story on that some years ago. That crabs and barrel mentality ain't no joke.
It is very much real. It is very
It's
much
real. It's real. It's real. It's real. I really appreciate you calling in, Mr. Stephen. As always, thank you for supporting the show and always sharing the show and whatever you do.
I'm a firm believer you got to practice what you preach. I can't get on here and say support black businesses and I'm not supporting one from home.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I really appreciate that.
So,
and
I like listening to your show because you do keep it real.
Yeah.
I mean, we know the stuff that you're talking about. Everybody don't want to hear it. Maybe.
Right.
If you just said 10 easy ways to make a lot of money, you probably wouldn't have been able to keep up with the phone calls of the viewers. But you talk about what
I know.
what's going on. And we want to keep our heads in the sand, and it's not getting any better, black folks. It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Day by day, and our children, we're letting our children slip through the cracks. And unfortunately, it's so many things that's working together. The prisons, the charter school setup, all that is working to keep us just basically slaves for labor. People don't understand it. That's what they're all doing. They either want you in their grave, or because the funerals are making a lot of money, baby. The funerals are making a lot of money. All right? And the hospital's making a lot of money. Okay? And the prison is profiting off of us. So those are three demonic things that's holding us back, black people and brown people. Y'all got to get it in your head that you got to do more than what you're doing.
Everybody has God-given gifts.
Everybody.
To bring to the table.
Yeah, everybody.
But our people don't have a vision, so I think we're perishing.
Yeah, that's the right words you use, Mr. Stephen. When you don't have a vision, you will perish. You will perish. You got to have a plan. Okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do for my family? And when I close my eyes, what are my children are going to be left with? Or my grandchildren are going to be left with? Unfortunately, the Caucasian people that have ran these countries and have done some dirt, they have blood money to pass on to their children. The inheritance is blood money. Is blood money.
Most of the guys up here, the families up here in my age group, white, that have money, inherited it. It came from grandma. We leaving our children Jordans.
Yes, and hardships and bills.
Yeah.
We leaving them with bills. We leaving our children with bills. Okay.
Right. And our parents' generation was the last generation of black folks that did better than their parents. My dad is a multi-millionaire. I'm not.
Wow.
He's, and I learned that in my 30s that, I looked at my mother and my stepfather, how stable they were and never worried about bills, and he worked 47 years at the post office. And I looked around at my own age group, and actually I saw that it was my parents were the last group of a generation of black people that actually did better
than their children,
their parents before them.
Wow.
Between that generation and the baby boomers, we got disconnected with that.
Wow.
And you don't hear them saying, I just want my kids to have more than what I had.
Yes.
You don't say that no more. But I mean, as a kid, I heard that all the time from black folks.
Exactly. You want your kids to do better than you. What has happened to that? What has happened to that?
One thing I learned is that grown kids come home.
Yes, Lord. Grown kids come home all the time. All the time.
The system that's caught up with us.
Yeah, there was a disconnect along the way. There was something got disconnected. And we got to connect that back, guys, because we are slipping by the wayside. We are slipping by the wayside, and our children are just falling, and they're falling into the system, and they're being used for slave labor. We gotta wake up and see this, guys. We gotta talk to our children. We gotta talk to them. We gotta show them. We gotta show them. And one thing I can say about this, my son, he may complain, Mama, we always doing something. you always got to show up. We always selling something, baby. Look, when you and your daddy leave this earth, you gonna know your parents was some workers. They put some visions together. Okay, so that he may be complaining now. At 13, he complaining now, but see, when he get older, he gonna realize, man, I see now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people that's listening, if your kids are complaining about your vision and your businesses, let them complain and keep their behinds working.
Get them involved in it. Get them involved in it.
Yes.
These kids have more access to information than we ever had.
Exactly.
So if you're not having some type of input and direction in what they're absorbing, they're just going to take on the systematic view that's being presented to them.
Exactly.
You got to say, this is real, and what you're seeing on TV is not really real. It's Hollywood. It's fake. That was the kind of stuff we were told coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, not everything we were taught was right.
Right.
But the basic fundamentals of providing and advancing your kids was there.
Exactly.
And now it's like the generation is selfish.
Selfishness. Yeah.
What sacrifice have you made for your kids?
Exactly.
You ask your parents that, and they give you a whole long list of stuff.
Ooh, yes, indeed.
Now you go ask a 30-year-old with 3 kids, and they won't,
No.
They don't have any.
They ain't got none.
So
they ain't got none. All they want to do is collect. Unfortunately, we got to keep it real. They want to collect their government check and get that medicine, that Ritalin for your child, so they can get an extra check and destroying your child, giving them that Ritalin. That they just want to collect those checks, okay, and depriving.
The thing about the check collection is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Of course, anytime the government owns you, they do what they want with you.
And then, yes.
If you get a check for $700 a month for doing nothing, and you go out and get a job paying you minimum wage, you're really considered stupid up here.
Wow.
Because the minimum wage job is going to pay you about $6.75. You actually make more. So the system is set up to keep you.
Yes.
Without any ambition.
Yes.
Without any vision. Without any drive.
Yes.
Because we all know that minimum wage should not be less than $10.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. No way. No, I was talking about that with my coworker the other day. I remember when I used to work when I was in the hotel industry, and I remember getting paid $4.25 an hour to be a housekeeper. And that was one of the hardest jobs in the hotel, but they want to pay me $4.25.
That's right.
It's all designed. And the thing people don't understand, once you get so comfortable with getting government assistance, and when it's time for them to pull the rug from under you, because I hear talk about food stamp program possibly being cut or stopped, when they take it from you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when they say, okay, enough is enough. We didn't let y'all suck on this breast for 30 years, 50 years, or whatever. It's time to take it from y'all. What are you going to do? You don't have a plan B. You don't have a plan C. Sometimes people don't understand certain situations are there for temporary. Okay, you get on food stamps for temporary relief until you get on your feet. You don't stay there for generations and generations and generations. The project, you were there to get on your feet. Now you paying $2 after 45 years being in the project, but you can afford to get out of there. But you don't want to get out of there because you're paying $2 in rent. What's going to happen when they shut it all down? What's going to happen to you?
And it's all about there's no vision. And there's a lot of pride in living in the project. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the hardest part I had with the stores on Canal Street is that when I made project shirts and they hung one on the door, you look back 3 minutes later and it was gone.
Wow.
Because, New Orleans is all about, for the young people, what part of town you from.
It is. It is.
8th Ward. And so I had 9 stores in the 9th Ward, and they all had different style 9th Ward shirts because the Florida project, people didn't want to wear the same type of shirts as the ones in the Desire project was,
Yeah.
and they was next door neighbors.
Right.
So
Right.
black people got this mentality that we are competing against each other to get ahead, and we're not.
Mm-hmm.
We're competing against each other to keep each other down.
Yes.
That's what the trick that was played on.
Yes, that's the trick. That was the trick. That was the trick.
True competition is you make a widget and I come out with a widget better than yours.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're going to make a widget and I make sure you don't be able to make any widgets.
Exactly.
That's sabotage.
That's sabotage. We compete to sabotage each other. That's what we're doing.
Exactly.
We compete to sabotage each other. And nobody getting out of poverty. Nobody getting out of poverty.
I see $50,000 cars parked next to $20 houses. The house looked like, I'd be like, man, if that was my car, I wouldn't park in that driveway next to that house.
Wow.
It looked like it would fall on it.
Wow.
And so somebody asked me after, when you get in your car and you drive around in your nice, fancy car, you look good.
Right.
People don't know that you live in a house that should have been burnt down or something, last week.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about we are showmen.
Yeah, showmen. Yes, showmans. Yeah. Yeah.
We want to front like we're doing so well.
Yes.
And
right.
So whatever we're measuring success by as black folks is wrong.
Yeah, we are. We're definitely in the dark. We're definitely in the dark. We're definitely in the dark, Mr. Steven. Well, listen, I really appreciate you calling in. I'm going to be closing this show out in a few minutes, and I always appreciate you calling and supporting the show.
You're faithfully doing a good show every week. I really enjoy it. I just wish, I know it's going to happen. It's just, we're black folks. We just slow to support each other. So,
exactly.
Just keep on doing what you're doing.
Exactly. All right. I appreciate it, Mr. Steve. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Shout out to Mr. Steve. Thank you for calling in, guys. We have had an amazing show today, just playing the music and talking about these topics. And let me just say this, reiterate this. I am not judging anybody when I talk about these subjects. But I'm just bringing it to reality so we can change our behaviors and we can change the way that we outlook on each other, and we can change the behaviors of not supporting one another and not competing to sabotaging one another. Mr. Steven made some great points. I'm glad that he called in and we had this conversation. So I'm just shedding a light on that we got to get better at what we're doing. And we got to know that we are consumers. We make businesses thrive on our dollar. I remember somebody saying the black dollar stays in a black person's hand 15 minutes or something like that. Don't quote me, but it's a short period of time that we keep our own money in our own neighborhoods, in our own houses, because we even gave it away. As soon as we get paid, the money is gone to somebody else business, and it's not a black business. We got to change that mentality. We got to change, guys. We got to change. So anyway, every Friday I'm here. Every Friday, Real Talk with Trinese, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm live on Facebook. I'm going to start doing, I did my live on Instagram for my Instagram followers. Thank you for supporting the show. You're going to see more of me. I haven't been, neglecting you. I just had to find a way to do both the Instagram and Facebook. So now I have an outlet to do that. So you can, those of you who are watching Facebook, if you want to watch me on Instagram, my Instagram name is T Lovely Queen. And sometimes I'll switch it up. I'll go to the T Duplessis Entertainment page, which is Trinese D. So either one of those pages, I will be doing the Instagram live. But I'm always on Facebook on my Trinese Jordan Playwright Duplessis page, or my Trinese J Duplessis like page, or my other page that I've created because I'm out of friends on the Trinese Jordan Duplessis page. I'm maxed out at 5,000, but you can join my new page, which is just simply Trinese Duplessis, and send me a friend request. And you can watch it live. That page is public as well. Before I close out, I want to talk about God's Tears on My Window Pane for a moment. Here, we are. You know, time is dwindling down, guys. Time is dwindling down for the show July 21st and July 22nd. God's Tears on My Window Pane, part two. And let me make sure I let you know, reiterate that you don't have to see part one to understand part two. You don't have to look at part one to understand part two. It's front and class and center. It's self-explanatory. It will show you from scene to scene to scene what's going on. So don't feel like I didn't see part one, that I'm not going to understand part two. That's not. It's a totally different entity from it, but it's a continuation of part one, but you will understand it, because what we have done is we have put a scene in this play from part one, the last scene, so you can understand the rest of the show. All right, so God's Tears on My Window Pane is happening. Where is happening? In New Orleans, Louisiana. What day is happening? July 21st. What building is it happening in? It's at the Watson Memorial Family Center of Hope. Those of you who support Watson Memorial Church, awesome pastor. He has a center that's next door to the church that has a stage. It has all that. We are doing dinner theater there. We will have beautiful tables set up for you to eat and dine. It's at 4422 St. Charles Avenue, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70115. If you want more information, call 504-920-0394. If you want to get your tickets online, you can simply get them at stageplay.ticketleap.com. Stageplay.ticketleap.com. Or you can call us, because everybody that's in this cast, we have myself, Trinese, the President, Samuel Bowl, Shalita Burke. We have Stephen Burke. We have recording gospel artist Kerry Gordon, radio personality, sports newscaster Dino Hansen. We have Clarissa. We have Miss Aranisa Taylor. We have Frank Zeal. We have Ronnie. We have Brandon. We have all these people. We have Robert Pate Jr., which is my music director. Not only will you eat a meal, not only will you eat a meal, you will enjoy live music, gospel music. This play is phenomenal. Let me tell you the price of the tickets. If you want a dinner, it's $40. You can't get that anywhere. Live music, a play, and a dinner for $40. I have an extensive venue. It's $40. And if you want VIP treatment, that's going to be wine served with that, and you're going to actually get extra seafood dishes. Some of you guys are going to get to taste some of my famous bell peppers. If you decide to choose the seafood bell pepper, you want to get to taste some of my bread pudding. So my company, Oratory Catering, my husband and I are catering and producing our own food for this production. So T Duplessis Entertainment and Oratory Catering is catering the food. So you're going to get love. The food is going to be cooked. It's going to be great. So the VIP tickets are ticket, and if you don't want to eat food, we also made a choice where the tickets are just $25. It's still cheap to say that you're going to see a play and hear live music for $25. That's still cheap. But I advise you to get the dinner, because you're going to be smelling that food. You're going to be seeing all those people eat that food, and you're going to be like, man, I wish I could have got it. And I have to let you know that no dinner tickets will be sold at the door. No dinner tickets. We will sell the regular tickets. It's $25 pre-sale. It's $30 at the door. If you want to see the play, it's $30 at the door. But we will not be selling any dinner tickets at the door, because we have to know the number of people that's going to be eating and prepare that ahead of time to have the numbers. So you cannot show up at the door and just pay for a dinner ticket, because everything is going to be set up for everybody who's eating dinner. The tables, the chairs, is limited seating for your dinner. So I advise you, I encourage you to get your tickets, because it's going down. It's going to be sold out, and you need to get in where you can get in and get your tickets, and don't wait too late to get your tickets. Don't wait too late where you're going to be left out and not enjoy a nice dinner meal. We have limited seats for the dinner plate, so get your tickets. I have tickets. You can hit me up, 504-920. I am going to be out delivering this weekend, delivering tickets this weekend. So if you want your tickets delivered, we can meet at a place, a central location where I'll be selling those tickets. Hit me up. Hit me up on my inbox and Facebook. 504-920-0394 is a phone number that you can call to make arrangements to get your tickets. I tell you, it is going down. It's going down. Now, this is my time. I'm going to close you out with a song. Yeah, let's see. And we're just gonna do another Marvin Gaye song, Troubled Man. We're gonna close you out with that. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Get out and support whatever events that's going on in the city. Get out and do your thing. Support Black businesses as much as you possibly can, okay? And I will see you next time. So thank you, all my Instagram fans, for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us today. I will be here on here more often, so you get to see me live on Instagram every week. So I'll see you next time, guys. I need to end this live video. I don't know. Okay, so it's actually shutting it down for me. Let's see. I think it's gonna. Yep. All right. All right, guys. I will see you next time. Next time I'll be here Friday. Thank you for joining the show, and we will see you next time.